is, what was it that made you have an interest in Christianity and in God? And then the third one is, when you made the decision to become not just a Christian but a pastor, what was the feedback and reaction? Because I have some people that I love who came from Muslim backgrounds and became Christian. Some I led to Christ.
That's amazing.
Thank God. It has been difficult. To just put it like difficult. And this is years and years. I'm talking like maybe 7 years now. And it's still difficult. Do you understand? Like, I don't want to go into details because it's not my story to tell, but yes. So I just want to know, first, were you mandated to be Muslim or did you have more of a choice? Secondly, what made you curious about Christianity? And third, what was your family's reaction when you finally made that decision?
Yeah, Islam is a very strong religion, so I won't even call myself. I was a Muslim by birth, but I won't say I was practicing. I wasn't practicing that much. Yeah, my dad and my mom separated, so I spent a lot of time with my grandma. So yes, sometimes she was Muslim, so sometimes we'll do the prayer, but I was very passive with it. So I won't say I was like, a Muslim the way Muslims ought to be. So I think I answered the first one. There was no push. I was also a bad child, quote and unquote. I was smoking, not cigarettes, sila, and drinking. So yeah, my mom was very concerned. Reported to my dad. So when I gave my life to Christ and I stopped those things.
How did you give your life to Christ?
How did I give my life to Christ? Story is dramatic small, and yours doesn't have to be. I went somewhere, I went and I stayed too late. So I was coming to the house about maybe 3 a.m. in the morning. And my mom said to go back to where I was coming from. So the only reasonable place I could sleep was a church. So I entered the church. And I went to the back to go and rest. And a man was playing the keyboard and singing. Pastor.
At 3 a.m.
Yes, it was a night vigil.
Okay.
So the church was open. So I went to the back there, just sat on a chair, and I was drunk. Was I? Maybe small. Yes, I was. Because yes, I was. So he was playing the keyboard, and I like music so much. So nice voice, playing the keyboard, and it was like I heard cheers because I was sleeping. So as he was singing, there was manifestation. I was like, what's going on here? So it got my attention. And then he started talking that there's somebody here. We are worshiping and you want to join us, because I did actually. But you're feeling restless, like you can't. And that was how I was feeling. So he said, come out. Jesus is calling you. Well, I didn't go out. So after the service and everything, I stayed up, my eyes clear. I was just thinking, how did he know? So I went out. I went to meet him after the service. He led me to Christ, escorted me home to know my house. Around 6 p.m.-ish, he came and gave me a Bible, spoke with me, and that was it. That day I picked a Bible and I finished it after 9 days. Wow.
Genesis to Revelation.
Yes.
Now I'm ashamed of myself because I haven't read Nahum.
Yeah.
Oh my days. Are you serious?
Oh yes. I just felt like I had wasted time, and I don't know. Just had this. Yeah.
You also said something about how Christians can be too familiar. You said you found that, oh my goodness, God lives in me. You were telling someone else, and it was like, because I grew up from an Orthodox background, and there were things that were also not very familiar to me. Honestly, even till now, there's some things that happen in Pentecostal church, and it is well. So I think when the Holy Spirit comes in, it's a new experience. But for those who maybe have grown up with it, not really yet.
Yes.
But your life just changes radically. And
absolutely.
It's almost like, what have I been doing with my whole life since, And so I wanted to ask, because I watched one of your videos where you mentioned that you've been a Christian for, I don't know, maybe 10 years now.
Over.
10 years. And you're already a pastor.
Yes.
Yes. We have some people who have PhD in church attendance.
Yeah.
Primary school, secondary school. They are just there, like 15 years, and they can't seem to grow in their faith. There's just a difficulty with growing as a Christian. They are giving their lives to Christ again and again and again. There's salvation, there's sanctification. So what was it that helped you bridge that gap? Because you said now, for instance, you were living a life that was anti-Christ.
Yes.
So coming into Christ, how did you let go of those things? How were you able to get your mind renewed and walk in the righteousness that you had now received?
First of all, yes, I think definitely the conviction of the Spirit, most definitely. But also, people can preach you out of consecration. That's something I don't say lightly. They can preach you into hardness of hearts, where, a teacher must think consequence, because your heart will take the shape of your belief. So I think we need to, as Christians, define clearly what it means to be growing. Gifts of the Spirit are gifts of the Spirit. Spiritual growth is in the context of character development, looking more and more like Jesus. 2 weeks after I gave my life to Christ, 3 days after I was speaking in tongues, 2 weeks after I was already articulating my thoughts well enough to be considered to be a team's president. 2 weeks later, and I started praying for the sick maybe a month after I gave my life to Christ. Yes.
Wow.
Now, those things are like beautiful, but it wasn't good for my heart.
Think?
Absolutely. Because it was like approval from God, without real big change. Because sanctification is a process. And then once you are doing something and there are contradictions in your life, if the devil wants to get you, then he will look for doctrines that accommodate those contradictions, and then you are in a lie because you are walking in the gifts. The people that backslide the most and denounce the faith the most are Pentecostals and Charismatics. Cessationists, Orthodox, Christians, they are dogged. You hardly find them renounce the faith. So you get what I'm saying? It's we Charismatics that we are all about feeling, that we always get into trouble. So yes, I think just understanding that spiritual growth is in the context of character development, being more like Jesus, loving, gentle. And gentle it's not a personality. It's your disposition towards life. You can be a fun person and be gentle, tender with people, So, just manifesting the fruit of the Spirit and growing every day to be more like Him. I think the link to that is, number one, don't have a victim mindset. I think I knew that I had changed when I stopped externalizing problems. I'm trying so hard to articulate my thoughts. Let me say, for example, when you waste my time, I see it in the context of tolerance. God is trying to teach me tolerance, how to wait patiently. People are not always the problem. I'm not saying to be very introspective and beat yourself down, but also see life and see circumstances as an opportunity for you to grow and be more like Jesus. And there is a joy that gives you that nothing in this world can give you, where Jesus affirms you. He says, that's like me. Nothing beats that. I think that is character. When you're growing, it's not cramming all the scriptures in the world. It's not, you're smart, you're everywhere. I also think there are some people that God loves so much. He enjoys them so much. He will not allow them to be popular.
Hey. So God is not enjoying us.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think there is a way God can enjoy somebody that He will not be willing to share you.
Are you serious? I've never thought of that before.
I think so. Devil is popular. I don't think popularity is a validation of anything.
No, it's not, right? But the way I think of it, maybe because of the conversation I had with God in 2016, I was not a prodigy like you. It took me 1 year before I started speaking in tongues. But when I did, mine was an extraordinary supernatural encounter, actually. When I started speaking in tongues, I heard God very clearly to me. He said, I have given the instruction to my angels to swing the sickle because the harvest is ripe. Pray to the Lord of the harvest to send more laborers. Very clearly, I heard it. And I knew in that moment that God was telling me, like, oh boy, you are going to be part of the people. I never wanted any, I'm not that kind of person, right? But I think when God finds someone who is willing, it's not even necessarily that you have to do it perfectly. Your heart just has to be willing. Yeah. God is just going to take that person and use the person to do. So I feel like with the way the harvest is plenty, I know people that God is like, no, you will not go and bring in the harvest.
Oh, I no. For me, I don't think, and I like to say this because you can be doing the work of God and it looks like you are doing nothing because nobody is seeing you. But it doesn't mean you are not working. So that's where the popularity thing comes in. It doesn't mean you are not called. It doesn't mean, you can be called and kept.
Yeah.
Okay, let's think together. Maybe it's just the way I think. It's easy to preach to 10,000 people. It's harder to preach to 2 people for 2 years. And you have to show up. So to pastor a small church is harder than with 10,000 people. You're motivated to preach, you're motivated to study. And I know what I'm saying because I've pastored a church, just me and my wife, for 5 months. And I know how hard it is to show up. Something happened. Somebody I know very well in ministry came to me, and it has happened to me before, but he was there. So he came to me and I shook him and he wanted me to pray for him. So he knelt. So I raised him. I said, no, don't kneel. Please stand. So he said, no, please. I said, no. If you need, then I'll kneel with you. So then he now agreed to stand. But I've met him before and he didn't want to kneel. So why does he want to kneel now? You get what I'm saying? It's still me. Nothing has, I've not grown taller. So he's definitely seeing people's validation of my ministry as God has increased my grace. It's not always true. We're still brothers, and God still sees us as both ministers. He doesn't see me better than you, and I will be stupid to see myself better than you because we are both co-laborers. I don't know.
Yeah. What you are saying is visibility or popularity does not necessarily validate.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm not saying that, God can call you and call you not to be popular.
Yes, but you'll still be, but
you'll be relevant.
The way you said